championship match. Let's see what you got.
The players are ready, we are ready, and I hope you at home are ready for this grand finals of the Americas Summer Playoffs. Nalguidan versus Purple. Huge match for both of these players to be named the champion of the Americas region for Summer. And a big deal as well for HCT history. This is the first time in playoffs that we have ever had a non-USA player just missing from the finals. So we've had no USA players before. We've always had one in the finals at least, but this time we've got Canada and Argentina in the form of these two players here, and I am looking forward to this match greatly. I've been just enjoying Purple's play for the past 2 days. It's just a joy to watch.
I think that's a great point to touch on, because for the longest time, you know, the USA has been perceived as the dominant figure in the Americas. You know, they have most of the big streamers that we get exposed to in the English-speaking side of things, and you know, perhaps sometimes we're as guilty as anyone. We talk about EU versus NA a lot, right?
Yeah.
And there is more to this America's event than just the USA and just North America. And Nalguidan is showing up and making that point himself.
Yeah, and I think it's very similar if you just harken back to the Asia-Pacific region, right? You know, maybe took some time to really get out there, but when they do, they're looking absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at the lists. And you know me, Sol. Nalguidan bringing Hunter is absolutely joyful for me. And the way it lines up against the Warlock, maybe it's looking good for Nalguidan here.
Yeah, but this is Conquest, remember, which means every one of your decks has to get through, and this could be the big sticking point, the Pirate Warrior for Nalguidan. Purple has been targeting that Pirate Warrior all tournament. He has the maximum allowed number of Galactic Crawlers. He has 2 in each of his decks, Control Warlock and Murloc Paladin, and he has the 1 that meets the Highlander standards in his Priest as well. He's put other tech decisions in as well to make sure those pirates cannot connect with his face as much as possible, and it has been paying out huge for him.
Let's see if it works now, though. Grand Final starts now. Nalguidan on the Priest and Purple on his Murloc Paladin. Not a bad start for Purple already. You know, pre the final mulligan here is just a 1-2 drop available. Sprite Ridge Steed, a little bit slow at the moment. But Nalguidan with the Priest opening, not too shabby either. At least something to do early on to help cycle in the form of this Thalnos.
Yeah, Righteous Protector on 1 is, weirdly enough for a 1-drop, possibly its weakest turn to be played on. It's often a lot better to, even if you're going to play it early game, play it on turn 2 or turn 3 and then have a Murloc protected behind it that you can then end up buffing with War Leader, or just to curve out with Murlocs and buff it with Rockpool Hunter and go from there. Like, Purple just doesn't have the luxury right now.
Yeah.
Right? It was 1 mana card, play it on 1, curve out, play a 2-drop, and this has been talked about a lot this tournament. Purple's ability to just get resources out of his hand and converting them into just hurting his opponent is perhaps unparalleled.
Yeah, and even in the Pirate Warrior matchup, you probably still want the Protector later on because it can just potentially block so much damage instead of battling against N'Zoth's first mate into patches, right? You know, that just gets soaked. Whereas later on, Arcanite Reaper, Corcoran Elites, Hydras, huge speed bump for such a small minion.
And not to mention the tools you have yourself to go with it. Spike Ridge Seed, Sunkeeper Tarim, you can suddenly turn it into a very annoying taunt minion.
Yep.
You know, Spike Ridge Steed on 7 with Righteous Protector actually comes down a turn earlier than your guaranteed hero power Spike Ridge Steed, which is quite often a saving grace against Pirate Warrior, and it has that extra Divine Shield that needs another source of damage.
Yeah, we see Nalguidan now has the Power Word Shield, so he can get that off for free and make his Elemental a 2/5. A little bit weak to a Rallying Blade on curve, can just be cleaned up there, but still, I think it's just good for Nalguidan to get the card draw going and just have something on the board to start battling down these early minion pushes from Purple. It's pretty nice, actually.
Ooh, picks up Potion as well. Purple gives it the nod. Huge value turn. And now just this 1/1, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's really not doing a great deal on the board. It's dealt with on the following turn. It is just about protecting his 2/3 from being picked up on a trade, but Potion of Madness is going to ruin these breakpoints for Purple.
It really is, and Purple's really going to have to rely on this Megasaur getting something done in the next turn or so, because even Pint Size, you know, 1 horror away from a board clear there.
Yeah. Pint Size being picked up gives extra options as well in terms of picking up value trades. You can now just Potion to get rid of this 2/2, trade it into the 2/4. Chilling.
Now, I wonder how far you go in terms of potentially even thinking about the Ooze that turn. and just saying, maybe you just drop it down. Purple is playing a lot of weapons, though. It's double Rallying Blade and a true Silver Champion and Tyrion / Ashbringer.
Yeah, I think Gluttonous Ooze in this matchup is actually very important for Ashbringer. That's not to say that if you have it in your hand and it lines up against a Rallying Blade, you're not going to slam it, but quite often your answer to Tyrion is Shadowy Banduin. So that means you lose access to your natural healing, and then suddenly the 15 damage from Ashbringer can just be game-winning from the Murloc Paladin that's quite usually chipped you down a little bit. So having that Gluttonous Ooze to really prevent that from happening on the next turn can be a very, very big deal.
Yeah, it really can, and it's more just looking at the rest of the hand. This Thanos draw helps a lot. Oh, and it really does into Novice Engineer. But with look at Velen there, a bit of a whiff to be honest for now. If nothing else was drawn early on, you might just need the stuff on the board at this point, because Heal Pass against a Megasaur isn't really what you want to be doing.
Right.
Although Nalguidan, he doesn't know it, but he has got some leeway based off Purple's next draw, because at the moment, Purple's Hero Power passing.
Continuing to heal the minion, even though there isn't too much of a reason to do so. But it means, say, if a hero power token came down the next turn, he can pick up another value trade without having to heal his minion that turn, be more flexible, even though that 2-3 was immediately contested by an 8-4 on the board if Purple wanted to respect Radiant Elemental. But guess what? Purple doesn't respect much. He respects hitting people in the face and watching that number go down.
As long as Purple respects himself. I think that's the key point here. Ooh, that's huge.
We did learn earlier, Purple has a lot of respect for Tavern Heroes, which I thought was a very nice moment. He gave a lot of respect to the Tavern Hero, who was one game away, defeated what's his name? JB Monaco? Is that his name? I've forgotten the name. I've blanked. Raven, help me.
Who Purple beat?
Yeah, Tavern Hero.
You're putting pressure on that.
Oh no, unlucky.
The Scalebane is absolutely huge there, though. Because, one, it gave Purple something to do on 5. And also, it's just realistically like unanswerable to a large extent. If the death is there, then it means everything else later on is safe. Yeah. And what do you death? You death the Draken there, and then the Megasaur just punches you in the face for 8. So, pretty scary, of course. And it was Deepak then.
Ah, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Sol. Anytime, friend. Ugh. Tarim on curve, go.
And the rest of his plays are pretty awful this turn. Trying to get a 1-1 to stick. That 1-1 is essentially the same as playing a 3-3 this turn if you're not expecting it to be answered, which you certainly aren't. There's not really a viable play that Nalguidan would make that would kill a 1-1 this turn. So it's just reasonable to expect to drop that down. You've essentially invested 3-3 worth of tempo into the following turn with Sunkeeper Tarim in hand, or 3 power with Spike Ridge Steed, still very similar thing.
This is a weird turn for Nalguidan. Because he can play the Ooze and kill a full Rallying Blade, that's pretty good value, but then he can't do much else. But if he plays the Gnomish, then it dies to the Rallying Blade and 1-1.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, yeah, I've drawn a card, but I've handed initiative to Purple when Purple had nothing. So you don't really want to, you want to cash in on this nothing turn and get something done, but very tricky. And Nalguidan said, actually, I'm going to save my Ooze, take the additional card draw, whip in the heel, and say, well, sure, kill my 2-4, and then hopefully you whiff again. But the odds on the Purple whiffing twice with this deck, pretty low. The curve overall is very, very low.
Yeah. And again, you can see the 2-turn setup here. By loading up the Rallying Blade alongside the 1-1, he knew that even if a minion came down, not only was he investing a hero power that was almost guaranteed to turn into a 3-3, he had the Rallying Blade pre-equipped as well, so he wasn't even going to have to trade. Although honestly, the way we've seen Purple play, he probably would have disrespected the trade anyway and pushed face with the 3-7 taunt in the way.
Yeah, there's another Scalebane. He's going to go for it. Is he trading? He's going face? I like this.
What kind of question is that, Raven? Have you watched Purple play?
Yeah, I mean, the Scalebane almost certainly made him not trade there as well, right? That's actually a big deal. Nalguidan does have the second horror. Now, Pint Size. Yeah, the second death, sorry. I was looking at horror. But Pint Size horror gets so much work done here, and even gives the Velen less damage to deal with in terms of the trade. Because the Tyrant wouldn't die now.
He doesn't have to full ball clear, though, in this position. He can just use Shadow Word Death because of the way the buffs have laid out. He can Shadow Word Death and take by far the 2 most threatening minions off the board. But he is going to go and let rip. Can't fault him for this. He does get a complete board clear, complete dominance, and there you go. Purple respects it. This is something that we've seen multiple times with this Paladin deck in particular for Purple. It's a point I've made several times this weekend, is that because the deck is now cutting Consecration, you can very clearly see when you're behind, and that's usually a position you don't come back from. And we've seen Purple acknowledge that on multiple occasions. Once was in the Paladin Mirror, I believe, in his semi-final, and now again, as soon as he lost the board, he said, okay, my deck is designed to have the board from turn 1 until I kill you. When that doesn't happen, I'm not winning.
As well, if you look at the best possible draws, Tyrion, because both Scalebanes were gone, Tyrion was gone.
Yeah.
If he draws Tyrion, Velen just gets healed, the Glimmerroot trades into the shield, Velen trades into the Tyrion, Velen's still alive. Yeah. And then what do? You know, your minion down, yeah, you've got the weapon, but with the Velen healing or trading into the Velen, it's just not going to be enough. So Purple concedes there, and Nalguidan's going at 1-0 up against the Canadian crazy man, basically.
Why is he a crazy man?
Because it's crazy how good he is.
Oh, okay. I see. Nice save.
That's actually what I meant.
All right, fair enough.
Nalguidan, though, fingers crossed, just locking the Hunter, because I want to see it played.
I think the series will come down to that Pirate Warrior, as I mentioned earlier, though. Like, the Hunter is honestly a deck that Purple isn't very well equipped to deal with, but this is the nature of Conquest. You don't have to be equipped to deal with 2 of your opponent's decks. Sure, ideally, you'd rather have answers for everything your opponent can throw at you, but it's nigh impossible to build a lineup that way.
Yeah. It really is, and this is why the lineups get very, very interesting, because a Hunter which isn't deemed tier 1, maybe not even tier 2, means that sometimes a tier 3 deck gets you there.
Raven, I have a question.
Okay.
Nalguidan kept Bloodsail Corsair. Is that even correct against Purple's decks?
I think Nalguidan might have autopiloted that mulligan.
I mean, obviously, this is super caster vision right now because I'm staring at 2 Galactic Crawlers, but A, it's not a beast anyway for you to really curve out with Crackling Razormaw and eventually land high main and all the juicy stuff you want to do. And 2, you know, his deck, you know, Control Warlocks classically don't deal well with sticky minions into high main. Raven is pointing at the screen right now.
Does he do the trade?
Because he needs to throw this patches into the 3-4. But do you ever believe that your opponent is enough of a hero to have drawn both? And oh my goodness, this game is over, Raven.
Rewind to yesterday. Look on Purple's Twitter. I believe it's HS Purple. And it will say he is a Galactic Crawler gamer. And this game is displaying that fact. Nalguidan, a bit of a smile and a shake of the head. But it is hard to say. We saw the Galacas, but you know Purple's playing them. Was that autopilot mode from Nalguidan?
The big call and what I want to talk about here, like not trading the patches on that turn, it's whatever, right? Like if you don't want to play around the second copy of Galactic Crawler being in the mulligan alongside the first one, fair enough. Do you need to keep a 1-drop? Do you have to have a 1-drop in this matchup? Or are just sticky minions into high main, into whatever else, finish the game with kill commands? Is that just good enough to beat Control Warlocks as it has been in the past? You're the Hunter expert. You tell me. I don't know the answer to these questions.
I did take a breath and he started talking again, so now you've ruined it. I believe as Hunter, you can generally just get away with a little bit of leeway early on, because I think you just have so much damage, like so much, especially when this Hydra's involved. You know, you can, one hit from a Hydra changes everything. If Purple is AoE clearing with Hellfires, for example, then your hero power just gets there almost all the time. Let's just have a look at this tracking, though, because unlike Stitch Tracker, tracking discards the 2 other cards you don't pick.
Yeah.
It's not a copy. You draw 3 cards, discard 2, effectively. This might have to be Bow. There's consideration for Spellbreaker, just to sort of negate this Tar Creeper to a certain extent, and Nalguidan just decides to, no, Raven, no. I think the Bow, because it could be played this turn and get it on track.
Now I'm a little bit confused because my inclination was Spellbreaker because it's a potential good utility card, and I wasn't looking for something I was playing this turn because I was planning on Kill Command. When Nalguidan took a 3-drop, I was ready to say, okay, he doesn't want to Kill Command this turn, he wants to play the card from tracking, and then he went ahead and Kill Commanded anyway. So he's looking at Bear Shark into Razormaw as the follow-up on 5, I guess is his thinking here?
I believe so, yeah. And I think the overall idea is I don't need to rush anything quite now. The bow is very aggressive, right? You're not like, there are no secrets. So you're not waiting to get charges. Very aggressive play. And I think Nalguidan's saying, no, I think I just got him in the late game anyway. There is Rexar in here as well. Deathstalker Rexar, of course.
Oh, he can make his Bear Shark untargetable.
Like, really untargetable. Just go for the Wind Fury, which basically has said to Purple, yeah, you need to kill this Bear Shark now.
And he will.
Awkward thing here is it doesn't line up very well against this 4-1, what will be a 4-1 Drake. Very awkward to do 1 damage as Hunter.
It is.
Nalguidan does not run Unleash the Hounds, which is still a terrible way of dealing 1 damage.
Just curving out now is Purple.
This is scary. This is definitely scary for Nalguidan now.
Using the 4-1 just to break open the high main means if this despicable Dreadlord hangs around, he's going to be picking apart the board piece by piece, and it is nicely protected behind this Tar Creeper for now.
Full trade develop the crabs.
There's no way that's a winning play, though, is there? I think you just have to ignore.
It depends how much hoping. Well, there's 2 Tar Creepers gone.
Yeah.
1 Dreadlord gone.
Yeah.
2 crabs gone. Like, how much more sort of defensive plays can Purple even have left at this point? I think that would be my thinking.
Right.
And Nalguidan's kind of gave us the idea he wants to play more of a minion-based late game, as opposed to just smorking him. He's already used 1 kill command and discarded a bow.
Defile does absolutely dunk on you if you leave the Dreadlord up, though. He just casts Defile, all the 2 health minions go down to 1, and he just leaves it there.
That's why, I mean, I say play the crabs this hero power is fine. Mana utilization, making sure you get everything out of it. But I would look at this, because you just think, how much has he even got left at this point?
I still liked going face that turn. I think I would have hit face, and I would have lost the game on the spot to that Defile. Whether on average that play is right or wrong, I'm not entirely sure, but Nalguidan definitely in the situation we see saved himself from a lot of heartache that turn.
And I like the Houndmaster here. Houndmaster go face. What this does as well is not only says, well, it dies to the Giant anyway. Yeah, but you just put another 4-3 on the board.
Yeah. Well, that Mistress is a beautiful draw because he's got a fairly quick clock here with the Mountain Giant just starting to connect back the other way, but he needs as much resiliency as he can muster to survive the hero powers and potential bows and kill commands being drawn. So that Mistress being able to pick up value is huge.
Hydra's just asking for a straight up trade. Interesting now to see if the Mistress of Mix just goes into the Hydra. Because you know Hunter's out, right? Oh, does he just go? Oh, okay, he can just go face.
Worth noting, Purple, I believe, was 1 damage off lethal that turn with Defile and the Mistress trading. If he had a way to make Defile proc twice that turn, he would have had lethal.
And the Mistress wouldn't have healed him back up?
Well, it would then proc a 3rd time by killing the Mistress and then hit him again and undo it.
Okay, well, Purple does even it up there in a very unfavored matchup in my opinion, but when you slam double Golakka against double Pirates at the opening, it's going to be tough. And to be fair, Nalguidan had a few choices there, but he wasn't even too far away. And Purple not only had Golakkas, had 2 of his Tar Creepers went down, the Dreadlord into Hellfire went down. He just threw everything he had at him to burn him out of minions, and Nalguidan got locked down early and still nearly killed him.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do have to rewind all the way back to that Bloodsail Corsair, though. Like, maybe I'm crazy. Like, people, please do at me on Twitter and tell me your thoughts on whether you would keep Bloodsail Corsair.
I want to hear specifically from Orange, Asmo, and RDU.
Yeah, Orange, tweet me right now. Tell me whether you would keep Bloodsail Corsair against revealed double Galacta Crawler Warlock.
Orange is there, like, asleep, and he just has a feeling. Wakes up, looks at Twitter, Sol needs me.
Let me pick up the Orange phone.
Brilliant. It's literally just an Orange phone, and you just need to ring his actual number.
Yeah, that's how phones work.
Yeah, I guess so. It does mean that we might see, again, for at least my enjoyment, another Hunter game. Purple even it up with that Warlock. Now Nalguidan's got to feel maybe a little bit shaken by that. It's never fun to, drop your 1-drop and then go up against an absolute flurry of minions from your opponent's Warlock. Shouldn't happen.
Now, this feels different from the discussion we've been having. A, because Purple's now only playing 1 Galacta Crawler in the deck that you're up against, and B, I don't think your matchup is naturally quite as good as it was against the Warlock. So just making sure that you have the consistency of curving out a 1-drop every possible game, get the patches out of your deck, all that good stuff. I think keeping the Bloodsail Corsair this time, definitely right in line with what I'd be doing.
Double Bear Shark. Coin, Bear Shark, go. This is one of the openings that can be very, very strong indeed.
Potion of Madness in hand, which is a classically very strong answer to Patch's openings, but more so against Pirate Warrior, where it's N'Zoth's first mate coming down. We did see the crazy situation in the previous series where Patches being on board solo was actually better than the N'Zoth's first mate because it stuck to the board and played around Potion of Madness.
Purple literally doing the boy at the computer nod. He's like, Like I said, this double Bear Shark is going to be make or break, I think, for Nalguidan now.
Yeah.
He does have the juice as well to go later. He does have high main. Now the bow is amazing pickup here. Just means he can go, and this amount of damage might not look too flashy at 6, but 6 a turn, plus another 4 from this Bear Shark later on. It's looking pretty sweet.
Circle of Healing picked up, and that would have been one of his potential answers because Purple does, of course, play a copy of Orkanai Soul Priest in his deck, which would have cleared out all this Bear Shark pressure.
Kill command would be big. There it is. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, he keeps a minion.
Just strictly better. It's not like the other cards are remaining in your deck anyway, so just take the one that's more efficient this turn.
100%. And 1 extra damage can, if it hits twice, well, that's 2 extra damage already, and that can make a big difference.
Yep.
No greater healing potion for Purple. Nothing really to stabilize. This bow can already get rid of this Razor Maw.
He's going fishing, Blood Mage Thalnos. He's going to play it out.
Just has to.
Yeah,
he needs something.
He needs to cycle, but the Blood Mage Spirit Lash could actually be a way to get a little bit of stabilization back.
This is one of the weird interactions in this Hunter list. Quite often you play your pirates on 1 and go like the patches or something afterwards.
Sure.
I mean, because you make a big beast, right? It's pretty good.
When they announced Galacta Crawler, some people reacted and said, okay, I get that it's supposed to be a Pirate Warrior counter, but don't I just play it in my Pirate Warrior and make a Totem Golem on
Pirate
turn
Warrior
2?
list is very tight now.
Right.
There's not a lot of room to play much.
Hey, I tell you what, now Fiery War Axe is getting nerfed. They need another 2-drop.
Subtle making the long calls. We'll find out next week. And Subtle is sometimes not right.
Yeah, including just that. That was a terrible switch.
2 Bear Sharks just going at it, and look at the pressure here.
Well, that's not Orkanai Soul Priest.
It's a free heal every turn, though.
Yep. Gets himself a 3-2 as well. He is fighting for board dominance now, but there is another 10 minimum.
Only got 1 kill command left in the deck.
Yes.
Very important to track these things.
Purple, however, does not know that.
No. And Razor Maw, Wind Fury options, plus attack options, all going to help. Wind Fury just wins him the game.
Wind Fury's lethal, yeah.
If you whiff, you lose your board.
And
That's
your
the scary
ability to
bit.
play a high main.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean, yeah.
You win the game here 3 out of 10 times by playing Crackling Razor.
I'm taking the 3 out of 10.
How often do you win the game by playing high main? I feel like it is more than 3 out of 10.
Nah. Just want to beat him now. True Smoke style. Nalguidan, I have faith. Sounds really weird rooting against my pick. I really like Hunter.
You play high main, though. You do open yourself up into Dragonfire Potion. So maybe that is a big enough threat to consider playing it. Ooh, this was my instinct.
I think Nalguidan was unsure right until the end there. The rope really put the pressure on.
I mean,
he hovered Razor Maw to play and then let go and went high main.
I started the turn pretty convinced that high main was a sharper winning play. Then I started to consider some of the outs. Obviously, I was looking at the Silent Shadower Death answer that Purple had. Then I realized that Dragonfire Potion was very effective as well. Then I started to hedge my bets towards Crackling Razor Maw. And honestly, just based on Nalguidan's movements of his mouse, it felt like he went through the same thought process. Ooh.
Oh, this is such a hard turn, at least in my opinion. You play Rexar, and it is fantastic, and he might have to go down just to get something stronger to battle down the board. but you lose 2 damage a turn. We have seen 10 mana rhinos that hit for 7 with charge.
Yes.
So don't get me wrong, you can put out damage with Deathstalker Rexar beasts, but you lose a guaranteed 2 a turn.
With Razormaw in hand as well, you have the ability to turn any charged Zombeast into a lot of damage as well.
But you pretty much, you don't skip this turn, you do kill off the Raza.
Yes. And that Raza ruins any potential you have to develop right now.
And I guess because you can play the Corsair alongside, you might think, well, Corsair into Acolyte. Well, you're doing 2 damage to Acolyte anyway, and at this point, you need to finish the game in the next 3 turns, I would say, roughly. He's gonna go for it.
I agree with this.
I think he has to. The 2 minions he has are not enough. He's not gonna play the Corsair, scared of heal. But if he's healing the Acolyte, he's not healing his face.
Right.
So yes.
Oh, all right, sure.
Sheesh. Purple's just like, just no matter what, pirate, battle cry, summon Galacticrawler to Purple's hand.
You have to add a new phrase to the dictionary, which is just Galacticrawler Gamer, just so we can put a picture of Purple's face next to it. Not starting with a Zombeast this time.
Wants to play his hand?
Yeah. Feels like he has to Spellbreaker here. Spellbreakering the Lyra as well, not taking the stats off the board.
Wants to reduce the chances of extra great healing potions and funky stuff like that. This game's on knife's edge here. Purple needs to just try and secure himself against any craziness that comes out from Builder Beast. But with Velen and free heals every turn. Okay, I think the Bloat Bat combo has to come out now for Nalguidan.
The what, sorry?
Bloat Bat combo. You not seen it? Bloat Bat and Snail? AoE's the board down, insta-kills
Bloat
it.
Bat. I thought you were saying blowback. I thought...
No, well, let's not rewind to Admiral's days.
Yeah. I thought he was just going to equip a weapon and start attacking into the Velen. Maximise his blowback stat.
Bloat Bat. I
Gotcha.
apologize. I may have mumbled. It's my bad. But yeah, Bloat Bat versus and Snail.
Really
Sorry.
sounds like blowback.
I can't help what the card's called. So.
Okay.
Bloat Bat.
Yeah. It's got some T's in it. You should pronounce them.
Bloat Bat. Mega Silence. And he has Stealth. That is very important.
The stats on the board that he neglected to take away last turn, that 3-1 is now just challenging everything. Even though it has Stealth, it's not going to hang around for too long.
Can he? I mean, his chances that Nalguidan can get an 8-attack charge minion though and win the game. It's kind of the power of Stealth a lot of the time.
What did he pick from the first option? Because I just saw gain 7 armor and went, yeah, please, give me that one. And then gain 7 armor came up on the side. Oh, okay, I didn't see Polymorph was an option.
Gain
That
6
would
armor, remove a
obviously-
minion.
Yeah, that would obviously be the one you take in that position. I just saw the 7 armor and my eyes lit up, but then he got that again on the second option anyway. There's that
Orcanine.
Orcanine.
Orcanine?
I say Orcanine. Definitely heard a lot of people say Alkanine, though.
I thought you just said Alkanine, I said Orcanine.
I think so.
We'll check the replay. But we don't need to check the replay for the results of this game. Purple just held on there. This Hunter's been a bit of a struggle here. I think Purple.
2-1, you don't even get a
No,
third game.
it's not a best of 3, Purple. Come back. We need to finish the finals. No, he will just be stepping away for that quick bathroom break or whatever, which is completely fine. But yeah, I think that was definitely another tough game for Nalguidan there. I think I sort of joked about going for it in terms of the Razormaw, in that he had the chance there. He did go for the high main instead, but I don't know. I think the worst case of a Razormaw is not even that terrible. You don't win the game then, but you can still get plus attack, which puts them under plenty of pressure still. If the AoE comes down, well, they're still extremely low health.
Yeah.
And if you hit the Wind Fury, well, guess what? You win.
So any board that you make would have been dealt with the same answers.
Yes.
The Silent Shadow Word Death, the Dragonfire Potion, all the things you were weak to, but it had that upside of just winning the game sometimes. I led towards the high main. I'm not just going to put on my hindsight as 2020 and say that was the wrong play, but it was definitely the critical decision that ended the game.
Yeah. And now the next game is going to be coming up very soon. Don't go anywhere.
Don't stray too far away from the fire, my friends. There's more tales to tell. America Summer Playoffs!
Is Purple going to join Pavel and Muzzy in their 10-0 victors? Or is Nalguidan going to be the first Argentinian player to win the Americas playoffs? We're going to find out. Purple is 2-1 now. Purple on the Paladin. And Nalguidan switching over to his Pirate Warrior. Maybe just wants a break from the Hunter for now. He's not playing too nice, so let's play some Pirate Warrior and see what happens here. Purple already off to a good start with that mulligan, at least from what I saw. There you go, double one drops right from the get-go.
Upgrade coming out from Nalguidan. Purple gives the nod. This here, the one-mana play from Nalguidan was always going to heavily influence what Purple did in response. Because obviously, if a minion came down, if N'Zoth's first mate came down, then is there huge merit in actually playing out the Tidecaller this turn? So just gets stabbed by the weapon, takes one of the pirates with it, and he's still behind on the board. But since that is not under threat, he just goes full tempo, also influenced by the fact that he picked up a 2-drop play. Because otherwise the coin would have left him stranded on the following turn. Yeah, and now I wonder if it's going to be Heroic Strike time on the 1-3 on the Valve thing. It means that next turn with South Sea Captain will buff him Patches. As long as he doesn't draw it, then Patches can go into the Tidecaller. Seems extreme, but I think you have to do some extreme things. It's bet. He's going to hit the Inquisitor, right? This is strange. It's better to hit the Tidecaller.
Why?
Because then next turn you summon a 2/2 Patches,
and
the weapon value trades into the 1/3.
Is there anything that could come down that would stop that?
On turn 2?
I'm just trying to think. I'm not saying there is.
Rockpool Hunter could then buff it so the value trade isn't available.
True. Huh, okay.
But then you can just divert, plan, and double trade into the Rockpool Hunter instead.
It's true.
I think the upside is worth taking that risk of just getting a value trade instead of just sacrificing your Patches.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I sort of just jumped to the basic maths, you know what I mean? Like, this adds to this, looks good. Clear the board. Stonehill Defender's gonna... We'll just die if it's played. It will be soaked up by the Captain and the swing of the weapon there. It's going to be Righteous Protector just to make things as awkward as possible, and then a setup of either True Silver Champion if, say, you know, a Corcoran Elite comes out, or, you know, a Frothing Berserker, or Stonehill Defender and Repentance follow-up ready for that turn 5 potential Hydra.
Nalguidan's in a mess here. He's seeing the funny side right now, but his draws are not being kind to him with this deck. He does have a lot of late-game power from turn 5 onwards, but is it going to just take him too long to develop
this Repentance is getting dropped every day of the week.
What a piece of forward planning from Purple. How often do you see a situation where aggro Murloc Paladin, mid-range Murloc Paladin, whatever you want to call it, takes Repentance against Pirate Warrior?
Just knows what's up. Look at the speed in which he picked the Discover. He just, Purple's just in just autopilot mode, but I do not mean that in a bad way.
He's in like, the zone.
Yeah.
Is where he's
well,
at.
like every play, Purple just nods. He's like, okay, yeah, I know what to do here. Now I know what to do here. Now I know what to do here. Just every single time.
And this is just
beautiful Hearthstone.
Savage.
The Purple's just laughing. He knows. Nalguidan.
Purple's that wizard from the Home is Where the Hearth Is clip that just laughs at that kid when he polymorphs him. It's the most BM thing I've ever seen.
I can't really argue with you on this one.
Yeah. As a fan of a good smug face, Purple has a pretty good smug face.
Resting smug face, as you like to say. Yeah. It's easy to be smug when you were this good at the game. That's why I don't understand your smugness.
I was waiting for the follow-up. I thought I'd let you have it.
Let me. I took it, Sol.
I've had enough dubs this week. I can hold 1L. It's fine.
Arcanite Reaper cashing in against those 2 Stonehills value trades. Already, yeah. This could just be the 3-0 sweep, which then adds and creates the 10-0 sweep. Purple is almost checking out of this game at this point. It's like, yeah, I think I got him. There is Bone Mare available. There is Curator. There is True Silver just to end the game. Turn after, there is Tyrion. Purple against Pirate Warrior, sat on 30 health. Nalguidan already had the rub of the green here in terms of his opening draws, but there's not much he can do versus this onslaught. And that is extremely close to lethal with this True Silver, which means purple can just play anything else. Bone Mare, why not?
Yeah. Nalguidan recognizing he has to armor up that turn to play around True Silver, play around Bone Mare, but still, the end is nigh. He doesn't have the resources to value trade into any of these with the weapon. He's gonna give it up. Honorable Sudoku comes out from Nalguidan, and purple is going to be your America's Summer Champion.
Definitely my America's Summer Champion. Doing me proud and definitely doing himself proud. Absolutely amazing play from purple throughout the whole Swiss. There were no moments, round 1 to round 7, quarterfinals to finals, solid, strong Hearthstone, and it worked out in the end. 10-0 for purple, didn't drop a match, probably barely dropped a game if we can double check his stats at some point.
Right, and he's been a consummate professional the whole way through. Obviously, he ended the dreams of the Tavern Hero D Pac-Man early on, was very humble in doing so, giving a huge shout out to achievements of the Tavern Hero players. Moved on to take out Empanizado in the semis, and then that finals, which looked very straightforward about Nalguidan, but there was several key moments. That Repentance pick was amazing, and now look at the company he joins. And perhaps to some casual onlookers, he's the black sheep in that family, right? People know that Pavel's amazing. People saw Muzzy's incredible play, but believe me, if you've been following the scene for long enough to see Purple's DreamHack wins, his previous America's Championship, you know he is right up there with the very